So let's begin with the extract data for the random forest. For extracting data, I will import pandas as PD data variable which stores the re- data frame read underscore CSV. It takes the file path data dot head which displays the first five rows. Before that, make sure you have to give double slash and select the kernel. You have to give the kernel python exe, then start execute. Once it is executed, you will see the first five rows of this file position underscore salaries csv file. So this is the data frame or the data which is inside this csv file. Now I will check whether it contains null values or not. For that, data dot is null dot sub. If I run this, there are no null values. I will check the information about this data dot info. Now I found this is the data type of each column. Position is object, so I have to convert it into integer or float. For that, I will use the label encoder. Before that, let's complete with the description. Getting the description. Okay. Now for the feature extraction, before that I will change the object to integer from scaling dot pre-processing input label encoder. I will take LD variable for a label encoder reference. Now I will convert the data where my position is LD dot fit underscore transform. I will update this same column. I also can use data dot index ilog all the rows for only the first column. I can use this also instead of position. So it is your choice, whatever you want to use. Data dot head. If I run this, everything is changed. Okay. Now after this, I will split the data. Before that, I have to mention which is independent, which should be the dependent. For that, data dot ilog all the rows is included and except last row. Data dot ilog I will consider all the rows only for the last column. Let's change it to dot values. Run it. Now execute to what is the check the value of the x and y. Print x. Now print y. Done. Now it's time for the model building. So first I have to import from sklearn dot model selection import train test spread, and I will take xtrain xtest y train y underscore test, and these four values comes from which is written by this method x and y train test spread, where I am passing the x and y values with the testing size of 0.3. If I check the shape, x train shape is x underscore train dot shape. I will copy this and I will paste again for y train, and I will copy this again for test size. So it is same for everything. X test, X test, Y test, Y test. Run it. That's it. So X train and Y train having the 70% of the data, X test and Y test with the size of 30% of the data. Now I will use standard scalar from sklearn dot preprocessing import standard scalar sc equals to standard scalar. Now I will change the format of xtrain by sc dot fit transform of xtrain. Now I will use x. I will change the x test also. I will update x test also by applying sc dot transform method. X test run. Now it's time. Now it is the time for applying the model. So for the random forest, I will import sklearn dot ensemble from ensemble import random forest regressor. Sorry, random forest regressor, because I am talking about we are doing the regression model. We are building the regression model. For that, I will use regressor, random forest regressor. In case if I am talking or building a model for classification, then random forest classifier. So for now, I will use random forest regressor. Now model equals to initialize this random forest regressor, where it takes estimators up to 10 and random state. For now, let's start with 0. Anything you can use. Model dot fit x train comma by train. So what is happening is I am applying the random forest regressor with estimators of number of estimations is 10, and with the random forest 0 in training the and building the model for and applying the training set for this model. So training done. Now it's time for the evaluation. For the evaluation, I will import from sklearn dot metrics import R2 score, mean absolute error, squared error, and import numpy for normal mathematical calculations as np test underscore testing score. I can find the testing score also by model dot score. I will pass I will pass x test comma y test training score train underscore sc variable which stores the value for model.score. I will pass x train comma y train. If I print those two test score is my test sc and print train score is train.sc. If I run this, I found this is the test score and training score. And you have to give the proper data frame so that the prediction can be done accurately. It should it will be the positive. Next, after this, I will find the R2 score mean square error. R2s equals to okay. Before this, you have to predict the values. Y pred equals to model dot predict x test print underscore pred. Okay, so this is the 30% of the data has been tested and this is my predicted values. For this, I will find the R2 score. R2 score for y test between the y test and y pred. Find the R2 score for raw data and predicted value. MAE equals to mean absolute error y underscore test comma y underscore pred. MSC is equals to squared error mean squared error by passing the y test and y product. So here what is happening? I am finding the mean absolute R2 score squared error between the raw data and predicted data. And RMC is nothing but the root mean square error. It can be found by the square root of mean square error np dot square root of mean square error. Let's print those values. Print R2 score is R2s. Print mean absolute error MAE. Print MSC mean squared error. Print RMSC is root mean square error. Done. Okay, so next step will be visualizing the results. For visualizing the results, I will import. Let's change it to the code to cell to code. Import matplotlib dot py plot as plt plt dot plot x. So this is the x value, but you need only the first column. So I will use dot ilog. So earlier I have used dot value. That's why the ilog is not needed. You can use directly against y test or y anything. Okay. So for now, I will use plt dot plot x. I am passing entirely, comma model dot predict. I am predicting whole of comma 1. Plt dot show. And I can you apply the give the title plt dot title result visualization. You can give plt dot x label x axis as position. I think it is experience or position. Let's see. Okay, it is x axis is my level. What is my level? Based on the level, we will have the salaries level. plt dot y level is my salaries. Salaries. Now, if I run this, I will get the result. What is happening? Okay, expected 2D array, but got 1D instead. So, what was the issue? plt dot variable x label. If I comment in this, okay, this is the graph. Salaries level. So salary is something 1 e to the power of 6 exponential of 6. So this is how it is increasing the exponentially. This is the correct way. Okay, that's how you can predict the values. That's it from me. Thank you.